Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome back once again to World of Warships, where we are featuring the Hsienyang on this Monday, and discussing the radar setup with Hsienyang. So on Fridays and Saturdays video, Friday video we talked about more of a traditional build of Hsienyang. Saturday we did an upgrade commander build of the Hsienyang, and then today we want to discuss more of the radar gameplay with Hsienyang, as one of my viewer subscribers challenged me to see. So to be honest, I'm a little hesitant to just say, yeah, Hsienyang run radar, because to me one of the problems that Hsienyang has when you try to do a radar gameplay with this ship is that there are other tier A destroyers who play the radar role better at tier 8 than Hsienyang. So for example, the Orkan is really good. And then when you're tier 8, you're also possible to be bottom tier. Then you're running into something like the Ragnar, which isn't a pleasant experience at all. And so, of course, the Ragnar is going to outtrade you with his DPM and more accurate shots, where you in the Hsienyang, you're more of kind of this hybrid destroyer. You don't have as many guns as like something like the tier 8 American destroyer, the Benson, with 5 guns. You only have 4 guns, same reload time. So to me, it was kind of intriguing, like how do you make a Hsienyang radar build work? And so for myself, I feel like when you use a radar, you're trying to use it at the right moments and pick out low health enemy destroyers, or you're trying to help your team out. So I'm going to kind of just dive into the game analysis here. And this was my first battle testing out Hsienyang radar. That Groningen just lost all of his health, or most all of it. When he was lit, when we stepped onto the cap, our Brindisi just slapped the living daylights out of him with the Saft. And yeah, that hurt. 11k in one salvo from the Brindisi. So the Groningen is basically the Friesland, just its exact copy, different name, just placed in the different tech tree. And we used our radar there, and that was, I did not know he just lost most all of his health. So we grabbed the first blood and first kill with only 1200 damage. But that was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, try to use the radar on low health destroyer targets. And so here on hotspot, we're utilizing the corner of this island. The Atlanta, I believe, someone with radar, is on the other side of this island. So we have to be mindful of that. And we have the ASUS, that is the tier 8 destroyer that has deep water torpedoes, so we don't have to worry about him too much. But he stepped onto the cap, so he's preventing me from fully taking alpha. So kind of just rocking back and forth, seeing what these guys are doing. Oh, it's the Congress that had the radar, I think. Never mind. So just rocking back and forth, trying to see what is this ASUS player going to do. You notice I don't have too much support right behind me that can throw shells into the cap. Most of them have the island between them and enemy team. So when this ASUS does pop up, we do engage, and I call him out. But the challenge I have is the ASUS, he's going to smoke up here. And there's an enemy destroyer in Bravo cap. So he goes dark. I am not able to go dark because I am radar. I don't have a smoke to go dark. So that's, now they're both going to be chipping in on me. So this is just really bad. The enemy team is now beginning to step. The battleships are pushing into the cap. So I pop the engine boost, thinking that I'm probably going to die here. So we throw out our torps onto, let's see here, is it the Alabama? Yeah, the Alabama. And we also have the Massachusetts there, and Congress in the rear. And I'm not going to fire my guns once at all. I'm going to do my best to get outside of detectability range of that Alabama. I did go ahead and pop my radar just in case if I'm going to go down here, let my team get some more information. Maybe they decide to shoot the ASUS. I can't really juke in taking my lowering the throttle. You can see our engine is also incapacitated. We'd have engine boost going, so that was nice to be able to get out of that situation as both the Congress and Alabama die. So I was waiting to use that DCP until I was dark, just in case they set me on fire, because I want to try to retain whatever health I have left. So I was not expecting them to be that aggressive there, so that caught me off guard. And as a result, we lost a good chunk of our health pool because of that. So now the goal is to work and step back onto the cap. We're going to go to the bottom right corner of Alpha. I also have to be mindful of that German destroyer in Bravo. That is, see, the Z-44. Because I'm not going to win a fight against two of them at the same time, and I might not even win a fight against just one for right now. But I don't have to worry about taking torpedoes in the Sashio, so I don't have to worry about trying to angle. I can kind of be more of this sitting broadside. And I'm sitting here for the moment thinking if the Z-44 comes around into the cap, then I can just ditch out to the south here, and that I have my Brindisi that would be able to support as an example. So we decided to sit here, just seeing what's going to happen for now. So really, again, I don't think, I wouldn't recommend running radar on Hsienyang. If you run radar on Hsienyang, the trick is knowing when to pop the radar and when to open up with your guns, because you're not able to go dark unless you have a teammate utilizing their smoke screen for you or something like that. So you can see the Sashio has left. He's running north. The Z-44 is not close enough to be picked up by the radar that are, let's see, what was it? Yes, our friendly Atlanta popped. I think he has short range radar. It's not a long range, like 10-kilometer radar. I can't remember how the distance of Atlanta radar right now. A ship I don't have still yet at the moment. But because I had the Brindisi, Atlanta, they're both doing really well on their health pool. I feel like it's okay for me to take this route and pushing more in towards Bravo. Now, one thing I do have to keep in mind is that the Z-44 torpedoes can hit me. They're not deep water torpedoes or extra deep water torpedoes like the Sashio. So I do have to be mindful about how I engage here. So I'm going to stick further to the right. I'm not going to get super close to the cruisers because I don't want to accidentally end up eating a torpedo for them. So we're coming out here. Wondering where the Z-44 is gone. I'm wondering maybe he's behind that island. He's not. He's disengaged. He's pushing out. So immediately we're going to slam on the throttle, put it in reverse, and we're going to go dark. I do not want to get into a gunfight with the Z-44 right now. He's been firing a lot of AP, so you can see we bounced one of the shells there that we took a little bit of damage on. And he's thinking he's safe, and he's going to smoke up. So I tell my teammates get ready for the radar, and you can see he's losing some health, and I'm trying to get a little bit over more before I decide to open up with my guns, also because I'm concerned about the battleship pushing up. But now that I'm detected, I decide, you know, now's the time to go ahead and open up, and again we pick on a low health target and we get the kill. And that, again, I feel like that's when you make your presence known. When you're picking on enemy destroyers with your radar, and now we're out of radar charges. You only get 3 standard. If you take Superintendent, it should bring you up to 4. So I dumped torpedoes because I'm expecting, when I did dump them, that this enemy battleship was going to turn back into the cap. And you can see that is exactly what he's done. So you can see there's no gap in terms of between the 2 different sets of torpedoes. I've stacked them on a little bit on top of each other in the mid area, but these torpedoes are definitely going to kill. It only took 2. We didn't need all 3. So again, showcasing the really severe damage that you can do. Another reason why I think radar on Hsienyang is not the best is because let's say when you're engaging an enemy destroyer, a gunboat destroyer, that can kind of play that role better. They tend to have an ace up their sleeve where they can dump torpedoes on you because there's not many destroyers in the game have deep water torpedoes. So they can dump their torpedoes on you as a ace up the sleeve extra insurance card to kill you, where you're not able to do that in Hsienyang because you have deep water torpedoes. They're not going to hit the enemy destroyer. So that is the challenge. To me, it was fun. I played, I think, 4 or 5 battles with Radar, and this was the one I just ended up kind of showcasing, I feel like, the best, and how to use the Radar with Hsienyang, picking out low health targets, so on and so forth. And then in this game, you see that we're constantly running into destroyers. So here's the Jutland, So we go ahead and open up with our guns since the Jutland smoked up, so it wasn't really in risk of losing health there. I also want to move over in this direction because I want to support our Yugumo, because you can see he's low on health like I am. But 2 destroyers on low on health is better than 1 destroyer low on health when versing a hybrid destroyer like the Jutland, because Jutland really does well in taking out enemy destroyers. So I've thrown torpedoes towards the opening of Charlie Cap if the enemy cruiser now decides to come out. There's kind of a stopgap, and you can see our Yugumo's even thrown torpedoes into the smoke screen of the Jutland, but it's likely the Jutland, if he's wise, he's left the smoke screen. So we're going to kind of keep cruising, and you can see we get detected here. Jutland has a slightly better concealment than we do, so I call him out, and I'm not going to open up. I'm going to stay dark. So that's another thing that you have to train yourself well in knowing when to shoot and when not to shoot, because we can't just simply smoke up, right? We don't have that option. So you really have to be mindful when you're playing Radar Hsienyang in general. So it probably takes a higher skill floor, I feel like, maybe to get the most out of Hsienyang with Radar. You can see we smoked up, and I did open up because we could just put the island between me and the Jutland, but we got a few hits in there, so we're kind of fishing for him now, figuring out where he might be, since there's really nothing else to do since he's the last destroyer on the team. I zoomed out there too because I wanted to get a better idea of where he might be in the smoke. So yeah, still fishing. There he is. He came out. So we're going to open up again, and then I can even come here closer. So I utilize this island in advance. You can see I can shoot over the corner of the island there without being detected if he still would have been alive. So you're going to find yourself trying to play off islands a lot when you play Radar Hsienyang. So it's fun. It's different. So we got over 600,000 credits, 15,000 experience, 7,401 free XP with, again, a first blood, but kind of a cheeky first blood. But hey, we did what we needed to do. 3 kills. We totally deleted what was left of that battleship player, and we had assisted in cap. But here you can see, only 17 shell hits, so not quite the same as in Friday's battle. We're going to place third on a team with over 1,500 base experience. The Medici and Hyuga did quite well, so I gave compliments out to both of them in having a strong team here. And then here, a layout of the damage. Yeah, definitely some steal kills there. And yeah, we did get some really good hits on that Alabama. And Alabama has the best torpedo belt protection at tier 8 among battleships. So we left a mark with those 2 torpedo hits on him. And with premium accounts, you can see where we ended up and what XP modifiers we were running as well. So that is Radar Hsienyang. She's fun, but you have to have exercising knowing when to use the radar and when to engage in another enemy destroyer. Since you don't have there's many other destroyers that have better guns and that can play that role better. Like again, Orkan I think is probably a much better radar DD just because she has more guns and more DPM than the Hsienyang would, as an example. Orkan I think it's a premium destroyer. I haven't played it yet, but it looks good even when I've come across it in battle on enemy teams. So yeah, so that is Hsienyang Radar. This coming Friday, I'm going to feature the Oland tier 8 pan-European destroyer. So I'll be looking forward towards that because it was a really fun battle where I felt like I got a lot out of the Oland and finally I think, figuring out the Olin, because it's been that line has been a little interesting for me, but I think I have a better grasp of it than I used to. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, as we are about to hit 700 subscribers on the channel. So just super awesome. So thanks for that. And until next time, take care.